is no greater blessing than to have good health as you grow old. Even though my mom is over 70, she is peppy and full of energy. One day, our family started practicing Taekwondo, and it turned out to be a special blessing for us. Taekwondo family, return to happiness.
옛날에는 택시부터 시작해가지고 버스, 덤프트럭, 낮과 밤이 없이 몸이 부서지도록 일을 했죠. 그러다 보니까 몸이 많이 망가졌어요. 허리 협착증도 생겼고 무릎도 아프고 이제는 내 삶이 다 됐는갑다 생각을 하고 사는 것도 싫고 완전 좌절을 했죠.
지팡이를 짚고 다니실 만큼 근력이 약해지셔가지고 너무 힘들었는데 우연찮게 실버 태권도라는 거를 알게 되셨어요.
다리도 안 올라갔거든요, 솔직히. 근데 64세부터 태권도를 해서 7년째 하고 있습니다.
인상도 너무 밝아지셨고 빨리 가고 싶다고 하시고 도복을 보면서 흐뭇해 하시더라고요. 그때부터 어머니의 삶이 다시 시작이 된 것 같고 지팡이를 안 짚기 시작하셨어요. 그게 진짜 놀라운 변화인 것 같습니다.
어르신들이 운동을 통해서 노년을 건강한 생활을 할 수 있게끔 도와주는 게 바로 저는 태권도라고 생각이 듭니다.
Not only did Mother experience this change, but her fellow teammates also felt reborn due to the dramatic change in their lives.
너무 좋아요. 온 세상을 다 얻은 것 같죠. 제가 태권도 전도사가 된 것 같아요.
열정이 높으신 분이죠. 그 가족 전체가 태권도 가족입니다. 아주 화목하고 건강이 넘치는 대한민국의 대표적인 태권도 가족이 아닌가 싶습니다.
We're a family that loves practicing Taekwondo, so we've embarked on a new challenge.
사실 저희 가족들이 아픔이 정말 많습니다. 제가 아침에 일어났는데 반신이 마비가 왔었고 저희 아이는 태어나자마자 인공 심박기를 달았었고 정상으로도 살기 힘들다는 진단을 받았었지만 이 아이를 보면서 기적이라는 것을 알게 됐거든요. 그래서 태권도는 행복 그 자체입니다.
태권도를 해서 강해지니까 더 자신감이 올라가고 행복해요.
I believe Taekwondo is a blessing from heaven. It has made us hopeful for the future. Every day, we're excited to see what's in store for us tomorrow. Practice it with your family. Taekwondo brings happiness.
그런 말 있잖아요. 눈물 날 정도로 행복하다는 그런 말. 그날의 온도와 나를 보던 사람들의 표정 그리고 또 이 음식을 처음 먹었던 날 저에겐 동시에 같은 설렘이었어요. 어젯밤 꿈속 안녕하세요. 저는 뮤지컬 배우 이지혜입니다. 그날은요, 제가 처음으로 고민이 생겼던 날이었던 것 같아요. 데뷔 초창기였는데 아, 무대란 이런 곳이구나 라는 맛을 보고 난 후에 이럴 때는 그냥 고민 없이 매운 걸 먹어야 돼. 근데 그게 너무 빨간 거예요. 근데 저는 매운 음식을 못 먹어서 그냥 좀 쳐다만 이렇게 보고 있었는데 올라오는 그 향이 왠지 모르게 완전히 매운맛은 아니었어요. 그렇게 딱 한 입 먹었던 순간 아, 이거다. 우리 뷰티의 기초가 클렌징이잖아요. 쭈꾸미 같은 경우에는 소금이랑 밀가루를 넣어줘야 돼요. 그래서 정말 빨래하듯이 주물러서 이 불순물을 다 제거해 주셔야 되는데 쭈꾸미 그 이름이랑 생김새랑 식감이 다 되게 귀여운 음식이에요. 한치, 낙지, 오징어 이런 친구들이랑은 비슷한 친척이긴 하지만 좀 다른 식감? 조금 더 재밌고 개구장이 같고 말괄량이 같은 느낌의 식감이에요. 아삭한 식감을 주는 채소가 있어요. 천사채 무침이 있거든요. 그걸 같이 곁들여서 먹으면 매운맛을 천사채가 잡아주면서 그 뽀드득 씹히는 그 맛이 있어요. 천사채가 잘 어울리는 조합인 것 같아요. 쭈꾸미와 천사채, 깻잎, 양파는 많으면 많을수록 좋다고 생각해요. 거기서 되게 단맛이 나오거든요. 쭈꾸미가 보글보글 끓어오를 때 저는 그때 되게 초조하거든요. 굳이 음악에 비유하자면 왕벌의 비행? 어떻게 생각해보면 외국 분들은 깔라마리랑 조금 비슷하다고 느끼실 수 있을 것 같은데 맛있는 고추장에 버무려서 쭈꾸미의 쫄깃쫄깃함이 만났을 때 그 궁합 그런 것들이 우리나라 한식에만 딱 있는 식감인 것 같아요. 쭈꾸미 발판을 보면 아이들의 결이 다 살아있거든요. 탱글한 느낌? 매우면서도 매운 걸 참으면서 먹게 되는 그 알싸한 매운맛을 잊을 수가 없는 것 같아요. 저는 완전한 한식파거든요. 이제는 일상에서 저는 정말 항상 소소한 행복을 찾으려고 하거든요. 맛있는 음식을 먹는 거예요. 그게 가장 저를 빠르게 행복하게 해줄 수 있는 길이거든요. 오늘 밤에 왠지 자면서 꿈을 꿀 것 같아요. 어젯밤 꿈속 쭈꾸미 이러면서
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-hwa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment with a special focus on K-dramas today, K-expos, K-travel, K-everything. Now joining me today is our co-host Bella Kim. Happy Friday, Bella.
Happy Friday, Soa, and happy Friday to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, here to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest K-entertainment news.
And we are also today joined by Arirang's news features reporter Park Hyo-bin, not in the studio, but elsewhere today. Hello, Hyo-bin.
Hi, Hyobin.
Good afternoon, Soa and Bella.
So, Hyo-bin, it looks like you are at a very exciting place today. I think we can clearly hear some music in the background, so tell us where you are.
That's right, Soa. So I'm standing in one of the most exciting places where people are enjoying the rhythm of sounds. So I'm coming to you from Yeongdong County County, Chungcheongbuk-do Province, where Yeongdong World Traditional Music and Arts Expo is underway. It's also known as the Yeongdong World K-gugak Expo, with K-gugak meaning traditional Korean music. Yeongdong is famous as the hometown of Park Yeon, who systemized Korea's court music, so it has deep roots in traditional sounds. Here you can enjoy a wide variety of performances, everything from classic instruments to dynamic shows. One highlight is Kungmulnori, a traditional mix of drumming, dance, and parade, featuring traditional Korean instruments. There's also Bonanori, similar to a plate spinning show that's part of the UNESCO-listed Intangible Cultural Heritage Namsadang-nori. Alongside these traditional acts, there's also Fusion Kugak that combines Korean heritage with modern music, with more than 200 performances and busking sessions in total. Since this is Korea's very first national traditional music fair, people have flocked here from all across the country. Take a listen to what some visitors had to say.
There are 33 of us here today for the Expo. It's bigger than I expected, and even at the entrance, we were saying how well it's set up. We'll look around some more. I've always loved traditional Korean music.
I really loved it. The atmosphere was so lively, and I'll definitely come back if they hold it again.
Wow, the energy looks amazing there. Now, since it is the World Traditional Music Expo, I'm guessing there are artists from other countries as well?
I mean, that's a great point, Bella, because the Expo isn't just only about the Korean sounds. Even the slogan of this year's Expo is the fragrance of Kugak coloring the world. Musicians from 30 countries, including China, Russia, and the Czech Republic, are sharing their instruments and performances, creating a true cross-cultural stage. The organizing committee says it hopes this exchange will broaden appreciation for world traditions and help Kugak reach a wider global audience. Take a listen to what Executive Chairman had to say.
The Expo is not only Korea's first, but also the first of its kind worldwide. Here, you can experience the past, present, and future of Korean traditional music and enjoy outstanding dance and music from 30 invited countries, all in one place.
That sounds fantastic. And I mean, in a world where everyone knows about K-pop, I think it's the best timing to also spread that traditional vibe out there. But Hyobin, how long will the Expo run?
So the event runs until October 11th. So if you're interested in traditional music or sounds, I think it's the perfect place to be. That's all I have for now. Back to you, Soa.
All right. Thank you, Hyobin, for that wonderful coverage.
Thank you, Hyobin. And now time for some K-entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, let's start with a Disney Plus series that's doing amazingly around the world. That is correct. A Disney Plus original series Tempest, or 북극성 in Korean, has soared to global success, topping the Disney Plus top 10 TV shows category in Korea and Taiwan for 7 consecutive days, and also in Hong Kong for 5 straight days. It has also reached the top 3 in Japan, Turkey, and Singapore. Tempest follows Moon-ju, an internationally renowned diplomat who investigates the forces behind an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate. She joins forces with San-ho, a special agent assigned to protect her, as they uncover a vast conspiracy threatening the Korean peninsula. The thriller series stars Jeon Ji-hyun and Kang Dong-won, big names there. The viewers are raving about the seamless chemistry between the two, and of course the sleek, eye-popping action of this series. Disney Plus will drop episodes 6 and 7 of the 9-episode series next Wednesday.
I'm so thrilled about this series, especially as a big fan of Jeon Ji-hyun and Kang Dong-won. But Bella, let's move on to a K-pop group that's doing amazingly abroad, but interestingly with their Japanese songs.
That's correct. ATEEZ have grabbed the top spot on Japanese Oricon chart with their new Japanese album. ATEEZ's second Japanese full-length album, Ashes to Light, released this Wednesday, topped the daily album ranking on the Oricon chart on the day of its release. Additionally, the album entered the iTunes top album chart in 26 countries and also the Apple Music top album chart in 41 countries. Also, the title track, Ash, also successfully entered the iTunes top song chart in 11 countries and the Line Music album top 100 chart as well. Ashes to Light is ATEEZ's
his first album released in Japan in about 4 years and 6 months. The title track, Ash, is a song that powerfully conveys the album's message of new hope.
All right, and our last story is also about a K-pop artist who spreads lots of hope out there. And she's been around for 17 years already.
Yes.
Who is it?
It is IU. She donated 200 million won, about 146,000 US dollars, to mark the anniversary of her debut. IU's agency, Edam Entertainment, said on Thursday that she donated a total of 200 million won under the name of IUENA, which is a combination of IU and her fandom name, UENA. The donation was delivered to 4 foundations to support vulnerable groups, including children, the disabled, and the elderly. IU has been steadily donating under the name of IUENA on meaningful days of the year, including her debut anniversary, birthday, and the year-end, and also New Year holidays as well.
It's so touching to see her give back on these special occasions,
Right.
but I'm really amazed that she's been around 17 years. She just looks like 17 years old.
I know.
But thank you very much, Bella, for those updates, and
Yes.
stick around.
Will do.
And now let's turn to our AI anchor, Ari, for more on the culture front. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. Korea's leading international broadcaster, Arirang TV, hosted Korea Day in New York to mark President Lee Jae-myung's upcoming address at the UN General Assembly. On Wednesday evening local time, a video showcasing Korea's scenic landscapes and cultural heritage was featured on a giant screen during a Major League Baseball game at New York City Field, while banners and outdoor displays around the venue further highlighted Korea's appeal. Timed with the UN General Assembly set for next week, the event aimed to promote Korea to the American public and enhance the country's presence on the global stage. The Culture Ministry has selected Korea's southern coastal city of Yeosu as the host of the 2026 Culture Month event. Scheduled for mid-October next year, the festivities will take place across key sites in Yeosu, Jeollanam-do Province, including the World Expo site, Isun-shin Square, and Jangdo Island, known as the Island of Arts. Yeosu City plans to invest 2 billion won, or roughly 1.4 million US dollars, to develop the event into a landmark cultural festival that blends the city's unique island culture, naval heritage, and Korean traditions. Since 2003, the Culture Ministry has designated October as Culture Month to encourage public participation in cultural activities. The traditional stone wall building technique, unique to Jeju Island, has been designated as the island's intangible cultural heritage. Developed in harmony with the island's volcanic terrain, the craft is characterized by its distinctive method of stacking stones with deliberate gaps, creating structures that withstand strong winds. Used for centuries as windbreaks in farmland boundaries, the practice has been passed down through generations as part of community life. It was recognized for its historical significance, cultural value, and sustainability. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
부산에 가면 다시 나를 볼 수 있을까? 고운 머리결을 흩날리며 나를 반겼던 부산역 앞은 참 많이도 변했구나. 어디로 가야 하나
Korean period dramas that depict the country's contemporary or modern history have recently gained popularity on streaming platforms, not only domestically, but globally. They are characterized by their use of actual historical events and the social ambience of that period. Let's find out with our culture critic, Professor Ji Hye-won at Kyung University. Hello, Professor Ji. Welcome back.
Hi, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, first and foremost, when we talk about period dramas dealing with Korean contemporary history or modern history, which period are we talking about exactly? And also, what are the characteristics of that era?
Okay, the period that divides modern Korean history is usually considered to be after independence from Japanese colonial rule in 1945. So although the past 8 years are recognized as modern Korean history, the period is sometimes divided into more detailed periods based on changes in political and social environments. For instance, the 1950s are defined as the first and second republics after the Korean War and the armistice. And the 1960s to the 1980s are the period of rapid economic development known as Third and Fourth Republics. So the period of time can be said to be a history of rapid change and gradual growth.
So now let's talk a little bit more about recent productions that are set in those eras. So recently released K-dramas have grabbed attention not only domestically but also globally. So we're talking about Low Life, or in Korean 파인 촌뜨기들, and Emma, which is also Emma in Korean. So please tell us about each of these productions and how they are doing right now.
The Low Life, 파인 촌뜨기들 is a K-drama series based on the webtoon of the same name, written by Yoon Tae-ho and directed by Kang Yoon-sung, who has directed The Big Bet, Casino, and The Outlaws, 범죄도시, the first one. And this series released on Disney Plus in last July. Starring Yoo Seung-yong, Im Soo-jung, and Yang Se-jong, it ranked first among the most watched Korean original released on Disney Plus in 2025. And it also ranked high on charts in major overseas regions such as Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Turkey. And Emma is a story based on the early 1980s Korean 충무로 film industry, and especially it deals with the production process of the hit film Madame Emma, the real film. So, starring Lee Han-hee, Bang Hyo-rin, and Jin Sun-gyu. This series highlights the struggle and power structure faced by the female actors who experience sexual objectification and speaks of women's solidarity and self-determination. It entered the top 10 of Netflix TV shows in several Southeast Asian countries, including Indonesia, Taiwan, Vietnam, Singapore, and Thailand.
Wow, impressive. And I want to talk a little bit more about Low Life. As you mentioned, Low Life is based on Korean webtoon and is also the true story of treasure ship from the 1970s.
Right.
So what do you think kind of sets this apart from other webtoon-based dramas?
Right, that's right. The Low Life is based on the webtoon that inspired by the real life incident when in 1975, a sunken 14th century Chinese ship was discovered at the coast of Sinan, South Korea. So although it is based on a webtoon, the fact that it is based on actual events, that makes the historical context in the work, in that drama, much more realistic. So this drama deals with the greed and selfishness of various group of people in search of treasure buried in the sea. So each character has their own story of longing for treasure, and although they are on the same boat, but the betrayal is repeated and creating an endless tension. to the end, actually. So although, among others, the character of Yang Jung-suk, played by Im Soo-jung, who rose from an account clerk to the wife of the old chairman. So she actually completed an active woman character with stunning beauty and natural cleverness. So the character shows the interesting imagery of the woman in the 1970s.
Now, a very different story, but also featuring a very powerful woman. We're now going to talk about Emma. Now, as you mentioned before, it is a work that reinterprets Chungmuro of the 1980s and through a female perspective. And of course, Chungmuro, that was where the film industry really kicked off here in Korea. And at the time, R-rated films like Madame Emma or Emma Buin in Korean, those were a spectacle back then. So could you please compare Emma and Emma Buin or Madame Emma, and also the respective, the producers' respective aims behind these works? Because I think there are many people who are currently watching Emma but haven't watched Emma Buin.
Of course, yes. Right, the Emma is a fictionalized version of the real-life production of Madame Emma, Emma Buin, the Korean famous R-rated film in 1980s. So in the 80s, the so-called 3S, sports, screen, sex policy was implemented to calm the political and social situation. So amidst this atmosphere, many films focused on sexual commercialization, and Madame Emma is one of the representative R-rated film that was produced in a series of 13 films from 1982 to 1990. So it was one of the famous films. So, but the character in the Netflix's Emma is not just the sexual object or overly feminine as the women in other 1980s films. So one of the main themes of Emma, Netflix's Emma, is solidarity and loyalty among women. So Hiran and Chue, the main characters, they respect and support each other, but they choose their own way, which they believe is right. So this is why the female characters in Emma conveyed refresh and meaningful messages in a male-dominated period of time, 1980s. So although it deals with the dark side of producing R-rated film, the story of self-protection, or like finding their own way in a harsh era is interesting enough, I think, to both domestic and international viewers as well.
It is. And also, I have to say, I fell in love with the characters, both by Lee Han-hee and also Bang Hyo-rin. And Bang Hyo-rin, I think it's her first main role with this series. And they call her actually the 샛별 of Chungmuro. So we still use that word Chungmuro when we talk about films. And they're saying that she's like a rising star of the film industry of Chungmuro. So definitely something to watch.
I need definitely to catch up on Emma as well. But speaking of Emma and low life, there are details within the dramas that's distinct Korean and local details as well. Do you think these kind of attract foreign viewers even more?
Yeah, of course I do. The modern Korean history has been a period of time, as I said earlier, like a political and social upheaval. So, and the films and dramas that reveal such social aspects would be popular as well among foreign audiences as well. So the diverse characters in low life dream to finding treasure and turning their lives around with their big money. So they don't even hesitate to commit crime to become rich, but this dream was possible in a society far less organized than today. So it's like 1970s version of a Squid Game, I think. Yes, they like fight each other, but sometimes they collaborate to find their treasure, but they betray her and repeat it again and again. So, and Emma does not simply discuss the process of making a film, but also critically discusses the unethical attitude of the government and those in power at the time toward the female actors. So the scene at the end of the drama, well, An So-young, the real-life actress of Emma 부인, Madame Emma, appears as a presenter of the Lifetime Achievement Award in a kind of, I think that was a kind of a way to deliver respectful and healing messages to like penetrating the rough and like rude times in 1980s to the female actors. So I think that this process of reinterpreting of our history would be interesting as well to the overseas viewers.
Interesting. And you've introduced today Low Life and Emma. But are there any other works that's on those modern Korean history? And I want to ask you also, compared to previous works, what are some of the new characteristics that you're seeing in these new films recently?
Yeah, there have been quite a few recent works that deal with Korean modern history. 정년, the star is born, 정년이, and When Life Gives You Tangerine, 폭삭 속았수다. Both work also show the times in Korea during the 1950s to 1960s. So these recent works are notable for focusing on growth and relationship of characters. And within the historical context, rather than telling more about the historical events themselves, like a Korean War or the actual fact, but they are trying to focus on the characters and storytellings around the period of time. So, and even though it deals with the dark or unfortunate times, the overall tone and manner of the work is not that dark. So they are also characteristically cheerful. So I believe this approach is suitable for attracting younger or overseas viewers, as they can follow the story well enough, even if they do not fully understand the historical fact or social context.
Right. I think you made a very good point there. I mean, if you make it too obvious that this is a contemporary historic drama, then maybe it's not as appealing to the global audience. But having other elements in there, like love stories and so forth, or family stories, it makes it much more interesting. But last but not least, to keep expanding on productions based on contemporary or Korean modern history, what should we do? What are some strategies?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Korea's modern history is a fascinating subject to international audiences as well, because it showcases the many social achievements gained in a very short period of time. Relatively short period of time. So in that sense, I think that modern Korean history will be suitable for productions as more OTT series or films in the future as well. However, for those who are not that familiar with that Korean history or society, I think that rather than overly enforcing the historical and social background, it would be better to naturally incorporate the era into the storytelling, led by the characters that represent the period of time, the times well enough.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Ji, for your insights as always, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Bella, as always. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Have a culture-filled weekend, everyone, and we'll be back next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time.